version of that share, and then I'm going to do Rosh, okay?
Okay.
So I gave the Hakam before. I'll just say it very fast now. A lot of the Torah today that everyone's pitching, really for a long time already, is what they call the, we'll say it as a Yat Kislev word. Is the Hasidic take that we're much more optimistic that the purpose of life is simcha and not suffering and not tsar, but to be lichtig, and Hashem just wants you to smile and be dancing. The whole purpose of life is to be mamish vibing, and that's very geschmack. It's a nice thing to sell, and you could. But the problem is, let's say you make hashbon on someone, he goes, oh really? Wow, I thought religion was about living for Ilam Haba, not Ilam Haza. I thought it was about your neshama, not about your guf. You're telling me you could have a guf. You're telling me I can drink. You're telling me I can be married. You're telling me I'm allowed to ask questions. You're telling me I can dance. That's cool. So maybe I like it. So he goes and he buys himself an art scroll chumash, and he's all excited to read it. And the first story he reads is like this: HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts Adam and Chava into the gan, and in the middle of the gan there's a tree, right? And here's what it says. This is what the pasuk says. Vateira ha'isha, Chava sees, ki toiv, you have to hear this pasuk clear. Ki toiv ha'etz l'machal, the tree is good to eat. V'chisava hileinayim, it's lustful, desirable to the eyes. And nechmod ha'etz lahaskel, it's appealing as a means of enlightenment. Okay, again, toiv l'machal, tav leinayim, nechmod lahaskel, delicious, beautiful, and deep. Toiv, good, lemachal, for eating. Tava, le'inayim, desirable, to look at it. Nechmad, appealing, lahaskel. So what's this tree sound like? This is the tree in the middle of the gan, the Eitz Hadas. It sounds like it's all pleasure. There's three types of pleasure in the world. There's physical pleasure, guf pleasure. There's emotional pleasure. And then there's intellectual pleasure. We have a heart, a mind, and a body. My guf likes delicious things. Toiv l'machal. My soul likes deeper things, art, music, love. Beauty is already more than achila, right? You pay more money to go to the restaurant with presentation and violins, even though it's a smaller portion. You have to wait for your food, but yoifi is already art. It's a higher level. That's tavel einayim. And then this nechmod lahaskil is intellectual pleasure. So it's physical pleasure, toiv l'machal. There's emotional pleasure, desirable to the eyes. Desire is emotional. And nechmod lahaskil, as intellectual, is intellectual pleasure. So this tree represents all pleasure in the world. So according to all that Hasidic Torah, what should have been the law of mankind? What should Hashem have said? Here's a gan. I'm putting you in the gan. In the middle of the gan is a tree. It's delicious, beautiful, and deep. What should the Torah say? Enjoy. But what does the Torah actually say when you open it up? There's only one mitzvah given to whole humanity. What's the mitzvah? You can't eat this tree. This tree's off limits. So how do you sell Yiddishkeit as the experience of the Bria and being nena from life when you open the actual Sefer, what does it say? It's literally the opposite. How do you escape from the Eitz Hadas story? And the Eitz Hadas is not a little niche story. It's the story. This is Kol HaTorah Kula, to Adam and Chava. This is the whole purpose. If they wouldn't have eaten from the tree, the world would have been showing. It would have been Olam Haba. That's Gan Eden. So Gan Eden is not about joy. What's Gan Eden about? We're tarnished. The same old Litvish Torah that we heard years ago. Masking, you hear the kasha? Everyone's like, you know? You hear the kasha? Okay, so what's the teretz? You want to do this, or should we go to the Chanukah talk? Does this intrigue you? That's I said it's a very Yisraelistic share, and it's this important sugya, like this division in the world, whether Yiddishkeit's about joy, or about hispatos, negating yourself or enjoying yourself. What's holier, Shabbos or Yom Kippur? What's holier, fasting or feasting? Silence or singing, stillness or dancing. Is all that old sugya. So we thought we're past that, and today we know that dancing is higher. Asking good questions is better than being makabel things blindly. Right? communicating is better than silence. That's what we're selling. So how does that fit with Eitzadas? So the answer is the most amazing paradigm shift. It's not a kvetch, it's mamish pshat in the pasuk. You heard the pasuk. Nobody, I'm going to say it one more time slow and see if you can chap the answer on yourself, on your own. You probably won't, don't feel bad, nobody chaps it, but in the end I'll tell you a mashal and then you'll chap it. Hopefully after the mashal you can chap it. The tree was, Vateira ha'isha, ki toiv ha'itz lamachal, the tree was good to eat, v'chisava hileinayim, it's desirable to the eyes to look at it, nechmod lahaskil, appealing as a means of enlightenment to think about it. HaKadosh Baruch, Avatikach mi'piria, and Hashem said what? Hashem said, Le'seichel, I know you're not allowed to eat from this tree. And she did what? Vatikach mi'piria v'toichal, she took from the fruit and she ate it, and she also gave her husband. Okay? You chap the teretz to my kasha? Again, what's my kasha? My kasha isn't Yiddishkeit about achila, is higher than fasting. Shabbos is holier than Yom Kippur, right? It's not supposed to escape till high, so it's the mekadesh the gashmias, make a dira betachtoinim, all these nice expressions that we have. So how does that fit? So here's the mashal. The mashal is you go to, I can't believe you never did this in the shir. You go to a wedding. So your wedding has an amazing shmorg. So I'm telling you a simple rule of shmorgs. Rule number one of shmorgs is don't eat the rice. Don't eat the rice. You understand what my rule is? Why I have that rule? Why is there a rule don't eat the rice? Do you eat rice by shmorgs? You eat rice by, why not?
I'm not a rice yet.
You get full.
And what's wrong with being full?
Miss out the good stuff.
You miss up the good.
That's right. You have a limited stomach real estate. Why would you put rice where you could put a spare rib? It's a poor allocation of resources. If you have limited, if you had infinite space, you could eat everything you want. But if you only have limited space, you have to know that I could rather put sweetbreads or spare ribs or pastrami in that spot, the skirt steak, rather than putting rice there. Make sense? So let's say we go to a wedding and we see a guy sitting there by the rice like this. That's why I said don't eat the rice. Rice, yellow rice. Okay, and he's doing like this. He's shoveling rice into his plate. Mamish in the shmorg. So we're sitting there on the side, me and my chevro here, all the bullies. We're going to be the bullies. We're watching the guy. We're going, Rabbi Zach, what's with the guy with the rice? Like what's the shot? He didn't get the memo. So what's the answer? So there's a few possible answers. Answer number one.
So it's more for you.
What?
It's more for you.
Oh, he's doing a chesed for everybody else. His mom is sitting there taking one for the team. That wasn't one of my many terutzim, but maybe you know that guy. It's interesting. I'd like to meet him. Chayecha koydem. That's my response to that guy. Okay.
You want him to take more of your spare ribs?
I want him to be
Shmorgs
happy.
don't run out.
For the Baal Simcha, you know what his
Put him
job
in his
is?
place.
His job is to come to a simcha. It's for him or for the Baal Simcha? Who's it for when you go to a simcha? Really? You go into the Mahan and the Baal Simcha. You're supposed to be going for that reason. That's the holy reason. If he's making a holy cheshbon, it's the wrong cheshbon. Because if his cheshbon was, I'm coming here to be Mahan and the Baal Simcha, and shir in the simcha. The Baal Simcha paid for the spare ribs because he wants to see you enjoying spare ribs.
So L'Shitaska, you should eat some of the rice to make the Baal Simcha happy. You pay for
No, the
rice.
Baal Simcha will be the first one going, what's wrong with the spare ribs? He sees you in rice, he's going,
I also eat the spare ribs.
what happened to the
You
spare
should eat
ribs?
everything, a little of everything.
I hear, okay. This guy's eating the rice. Okay, he's eating the rice. So my teretz says to the rice guy is, answer number one is, we're sitting there, he's from Baltimore. He's from Baltimore. He's been to a few New York simchas, so he knows already
It's not quite chicken
that he's never going to get closer to the pastrami. No matter how much he waits online by the carving station, there's always going to be three more, cash advance guys who are going to cut the line ahead of him. And even when the cash advance guys are full, the nursing home guys will come in. There's always going to be three guys ahead of him in line. He waits there for hours. He never gets closer to the pastrami. He doesn't want to go home one more wedding hungry. He's going to go to the rice. And he's eating the rice, but he keeps an eye on the pastrami. If ever there's a nace that the pastrami clears out, he's going to run over there. That's Hezbollah number one. Valid explanation for eating rice, Baltimore people. He might even, then they're going to elbow him, they'll stain his tie, and this tie is 100% silk. You know, it's a real tie. You know, came from Borough Park, from Brooklyn. You know, well, there's an aunt who lives in Brooklyn who like bought him a tie for Hanukkah 8 years ago. Right? So now the other explanation is his wife is bad mechitza going. Don't you dare! He sees the motions, you know. Another explanation is his cardiologist is online, this Rami, and he can. There's a lot of reasons why he would be eating rice, but you know what? Nobody's going to say. No one is ever going to say, you know why he's eating the rice? He's pushing a baltaiva. The guy's like a third. He's a baltaiva. Why will no one say that? What's the answer? Why is that not a valid answer?
If he was, he'd go for the spare.
Because it's the opposite. The Bali Taiva by the spare ribs. He's a cop out. He doesn't want to compete. He's not willing to fight or to wait or to. He's missing the Taiva. They're bigger Bali Taiva. So when I make my rule, don't eat the rice. How would you explain my halacha? This is my Torah. Okay? Don't eat the rice. Halacha number 1. What kind of law? Is that really like a lois asay or an asay? Is that a restrictive law? It's a don't. It's a thou shalt not. Thou shalt not eat rice. So am I restricting you? Or what? Like, is it deeper than that? What is analyze the halacha, don't eat the rice. What kind of halacha is it? A restriction or what's the opposite of restriction? Give me a good word. What's the opposite of restriction?
Permission, not restrictive.
Permission. We need a good word. I'm not how do you say it. Okay, but things that you're allowed to do. Okay, I almost feel like the ilm is so not here. Okay, what's the halacha? What's this law? You understand what I'm going at? It sounds like a license,
But it's really not a
but really it's not a license. Really, what am I saying?
For your good.
What? But what am I really saying? You're getting all deep. Simply, what am I saying? When I say don't eat the rice, what am I really saying?
I want to give you some.
Go have spirits. It's a way to say don't eat the low hanging fruit. Go for broke.
Right.
Live large. So this is the story of the Bria. The universe, Hashem created the world. It's a shmorg. It's true that Hashem created the world for simcha, but the problem with the world is it's not just simcha. There's a shmorg. There's millions of kinds of simcha. So, what are the different types of simcha? If you Hashem is shmorg, there's physical pleasures, all the different foods in the world, and even those there's different levels. There's fast food places, fancy places. That's one type of physical pleasure. Then there's emotional pleasure. You can have love, you can have friendship, you can do chesed and feel so good, you can go to art museums, you can go to concerts, you can buy a violin and make yourself cry. There's so many ways you can experience emotional pleasure. And then there's intellectual pleasure. You can go to college, you can go to yeshiva, you can learn physics, biochemistry, you can become an inventor, you can learn lamdas, you can do miyashiv, huge kashas, you can figure out how the whole world. There's a million head trips. There's physical pleasure, emotional pleasure, intellectual pleasure. Torah is describing the Adams in the Gan, and it's a shmorg. And he only says, what does he say in the story? That's what I want you to chap on your own. Vatera ha'isha ki toiva is l'machol b'chisava hi leinayim nechem b'neitz lahaskil. And what did Hashem say?
Don't eat.
Don't eat. What didn't he say?
Everything else can be.
He didn't say don't look at it, don't think about it. So what is the halacha of Gan Eden? Is it don't enjoy life? No, what was Hashem saying?
Don't eat the rice.
Don't eat the rice. He just says don't get stuck on achila. Every animal eats. You're a human being. You're capable of much deeper things. The story of Gan Eden is not a kvetch, it's not a teretz, it's pshat. Look at the words. He described 3 hishtamshusin. You can use the word world for achila, for emotional pleasure, intellectual, but for thinking. And Hashem only forbade achila. What he's saying is don't eat the rice. That is what it's an unbelievable way to reframe all of Toiv and Ra. The grown-up way to think of Toiv and Ra is nobody is not doing anything. Not nobody. Most people are in checking out. Checking out is suicide. Most people are living. What's their chet? is they're copping out, they're taking the low-hanging fruit, right? I'll make the shmorg bigger, okay? In my mashal, the hero in my mashal was the guy who's eating the pastrami, and the rasha, the cop-out, is the guy eating rice. But that's a very small range. Let's do it very quick. The guy who's eating the rice, he's really the tzaddik, because he has two roommates who were invited to the wedding and they didn't even go. The guy said, I'm going to send my suit to cleaners, we're going to park, to go buy gas. Gas is through the roof. I'm not going to the wedding. You just go to bring us back food. I'm going to stay home and play Xbox. So now the guy who goes to the wedding and eats the rice is the gibor, because his roommate stayed home and played Xbox. So they're the cop-outs, and the rice guy is the new gibor. But the guys who stay behind in the room, they're the losers. But no, one guy's playing Xbox, and the other one guy goes, playing Xbox, it's so competitive. Everyone online is like trash talking if you lose. How do you do that? It's too much drama. Why don't you just watch a movie? Oh, so now Xbox guy is the hero, and movie guy is the new loser. Movie guy has a roommate who says, you're watching a movie? It's like 2 hours? Like, how do you focus 2 hours? Like, it's crazy. Just watch TikTok. You know, or maybe there's a YouTube guy in between, and then the YouTube guy is the new loser. But then YouTube guy is the hero compared to TikTok guy. You know, it's an endless array of further and further cop-outs. Yesterday's loser is tomorrow's hero. In some world, the guy watching YouTube is the new hero, because people on YouTube is 30-second clips. TikTok is 5 seconds. It's like 6 times more complex, right? And then, in my mashal, the guy eating the pastrami is the real hero. But it's not true. Because the guy eating the pastrami has two roommates saying, stop with the pastrami. Then we're going to the gym, you wanted a 6-pack. Like, what are you ruining the whole thing for? Control yourself, we're going to the gym tonight. So now pastrami guy is the cop-out compared to his roommates who are gym guys. The guys that go to gym, they're the new heroes. Now the guy in the gym, his roommate says to him is, are you going to the gym? What are you, a mule? You need more muscles, you know? Muscles? Like what's the matter with you? Why don't you go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and develop your brain, get an intellectual 6-pack. See something deep, go to a philharmonic, go learn how to play an instrument. You need more muscles, you're not a horse, you're not pulling a plow, what do you need it for? So now, gym guy is the cop-out compared to music guy or art guy. And then the guy who's busy with his guitar a whole day or goes to the Philharmonic and he's best of men, he's into art and modern art and all these things. He has a room, he goes, so Zeus that you're into art, what's the matter with you? Like, you don't have a brain? Like, why don't you go to college and learn physics, not pretty pictures? Finger painting was kindergarten. We're grown-ups now. Just stretch your mind and learn something deep. Understand how the world works. Understand all the elements and medicine, nutrition. There's a million things to study. Go learn physics. Learn the cosmos. And then the cosmos guys, now he's the real hero. He's Nechmad Laska. And then he has a roommate. He goes, so is he learning about the stars? The universe is expanding. Atoms, very geschmack. And what does that do? Why don't you stop with learning niches, and go to yeshiva, and learn Torah, and see the bird's eye view of the whole universe. Understand the whole thing, how it works, where everything fits in, and how they all connect. Not just biology or physics or chemistry. Learn the whole structure. Understand the whole bria. Anything less than that. So that guy now is the hero. So the real world the universe that we have is an unbelievable shmorg. The lowest thing is TikTok. And the highest thing is some deep Havana of Kabbalah. There's other parts of Torah where you're not seeing the whole bird's eye view. But the point where you get to where you want to understand the connection, the achdus of all of Torah and everything, that's shleimus. And in between is everyone struggling with which thing in the shmorg I'm getting from. And if you learn the story of Gan Eden, now it's the most amazing story in the world. Hashem is telling us this whole story. He says, Yor Adam L'chava, this is my Gan. And in the Gan is a shmorg, and there's only one rule in the shmorg. Don't eat the rice. Lo soichal himenu. That is the low-hanging fruit of pleasure. There's nothing wrong with eating, but not when there's available a shear going on. Not when there's... Right, because what do you see that? You see, the Pasuk says Hashem created all the trees in the Gan that are delicious to eat and beautiful to look at. And then he created in the middle of the Gan the tree that's delicious, beautiful, and deep. That's the tree that you can't eat. Meaning only where a tree has anything that has higher opportunities, you have to go for the highest. But if all they're offering you on the menu is rice and beans, so then maybe rice is better than beans. Rice and quinoa. They give you rice and quinoa, rice is the right choice. Then it's a mitzvah to eat rice. It's all relative to what's on the table. You hear the word? So that's what you heard, right? That's the shit you heard. That's the rule for life, is to ask yourself, anytime you're enjoying something, are you running away from something bigger, or are you running towards this? Are you over performing? Are you what's the word? Overachieving? Are you pushing yourself to have a higher pleasure? Are you waiting in line by the pastrami, trying to block people from elbowing you out? Or are you choosing? That's the question you have. That's Adam and Chava's question. Don't cop out. Because when you eat the rice, you know what you feel? When you cop out, when you take the shortcut, you feel busha. Like Adam and Chava, they feel ashamed. They feel exposed. And they go to hide in the bushes. Everyone who's hiding, most of us are hiding. The reason why we're hiding is because we ate the rice. We had bigger sheifas, bigger hasagas, and instead of pursuing what we wanted, we went for the rice. And then once you do that, like the same thing as Adam Chava, you can't look yourself in the mirror because you're not a hero like you wanted to be when you were young. You're a cop-out. And now you have to go hide in the bushes like Adam Chava. When you go ahead and you force yourself to fight with the pastrami, you play the pastrami, you feel like a giver, like $1 million. Tomorrow, you're not even going to the wedding where pastrami is the best thing on the menu. Unless it's in Marina, I'm not going to the wedding. I don't go to pastrami weddings. It's like the biggest thing, the Takana wedding. So that's the much. So that's the Torah. Now, in order to teach this Torah, all the story needed to have, this is what you didn't hear, all the story needed in Gan Eden would have been just to have two things, rice and pastrami. And you would have learned a lesson. Don't eat the rice, eat the pastrami. Right? And why do you need to have three things in the story? The Torah is very neat. If the rule is don't cop out, how many choices do you need? Two. Why is there a middle category which messes everything up? Because it's the middle category. Is it allowed or not allowed? What?
What's the middle category?
Tavalei nayim. Toiv l'machol, tavalei nayim, nechmad lahaskel. What did Hashem forbid? Only the rice. Why did he permit tavalei nayim? It wasn't forbidden. Isn't tavalei nayim a cop-out compared to... Why is the gym a cop-out? The gym's a cop-out compared to going to the library, right? So you have to ask, that's the big question for Chanukah.
You need the mind and the heart, no?
What?
You need the mind and the heart, no?
What? Why? Why do you need the heart? Why can't you just have the mind?
I'm saying they're like two tops, in two different categories, no?
In Shidduchim, the Shadchan, maybe they say that. They say, I'm not feeling it. Stop feeling it. Is it suga past? Does that make sense? You need chemistry.
Can I ask him this for a second?
Yeah.
The guy that's eating pastrami, he's not touching the rice because he knows how rice tastes. Over here, Hashem is saying, don't even touch that. Don't even eat. So Hashem's not allowing you to start at a starting point to have a service of something higher.
I mean, how did they know?
Yeah, like...
I think he said it straight out. He said, no, you know how it tastes. This is taste, this is feeling, this is thought. You instantly know that there are three different levels while you choose the lowest one.
Because I can't comprehend the higher one until I have the lower one.
I don't know. I offer you, anything in the world. You know right away, like which is the big ticket item. Like, you don't have to drive every car to know that you want the. You don't need to take everything for a test drive. It's Hashem spelled it out like that. He said it's toiv l'machol tavim l'haskil. They could have asked questions. Maybe they should. Maybe if they didn't know, they could have said explain it. But the point is really to see the whole thing as a mashal. You don't need to get into the nitty gritty. Hashem is saying a simple rule: don't eat the rice. You're asking questions on it, fine, but don't get lost. Don't lose the message.
No, I understand the message.
Right. So I want to show you the kid. So just for the Chanukah spin on it is like this: is that the whole world is always in busy with achila. The culmination of history of achila was Persia. Sudas Achashverosh was the ultimate achila in the universe, pure achila. And then, who conquered Persia? What? Yavan. Yavan conquers Persia. Greece conquers the Persians. And what is Greece into? Olympics and art. And the Greeks are the Yaft Elikim Liyefes V'Ishkan Meleshem. Hashem gives beauty to Yefes. Yavan is beauty. And what's the bracha he tells Yefes? Noach says, Yaft Elikim Liyefes. Hashem will give beauty to Yefes. V'Ishkan Meleshem. But you should go to the tents of shame. What's shame? Shame is the intellectual. That's what the shame. That's shame. So what he's saying is that it's very yoifi. Is when you think about art is the main story of the Eitz Hadas that you have to get into is that middle category. That's not mutter or asa. Art is hatzlacha compared to achila, meaning Yavan was holy compared to compared to Persia. Yavan was the first nation in the world to conquer the Eitz Hadas. They beat the Eitz Hadas. They didn't do achila. They stood in front of the tree, the shmorg in the world, and they said, why are we busy with food? Graba achashverosh. Let's go for yoifi. Let's be interested in bigger things. So there's a holiness to Yavan. But Lamaisa, beauty compared to Chachma, is the same cop-out that Achila was compared to beauty. And that's what it means, V'yishkan ba'olei shame. You have to go to the tents of shame. So this is where life gets interesting. The Hanukkah talk is that middle category, where you're not eating the rice and you're not eating the pastrami. So you don't feel necessarily busha there, because I'm not eating the rice. I'm a gibar. I'm having General Chow's chicken at the smorg. You know? The guy eating the chicken or eating the kebabs. Right? So what is he? So Yavan's is fascinating middle ground, and then that's why I think this talk really should be a Hanukkah talk. The Hanukkah talk is the Tara Leinayim, and the bracha to Yavan was Yishkem Maleshem. And the reason why Yavan didn't is a fascinating argument. Is Yavan is arguing with Klal Yisrael of the two things that are mutter, Tara Leinayim and Nechma Lahaskel, which one's holier? Which one's the cop-out? See, Maral says this in their mitzvah. So Maral asks a very important question. How can we talk about Yavan as just beauty, and it's just Tavalei Nayim? What about Greek philosophy? Socrates and Plato and right? These are all the greatest, Aristotle, they're all Greek philosophers. So how are you telling me that Greece is Yofi? Architecture and Olympics, it's true, but what about Greek philosophy? So what's the answer? Listen to what the Maral says. So deep, amazing. He says that Greek philosophy wasn't the pursuit of emes. It's the pursuit of yoifi. They wanted everything to fit, because then it's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing when the world makes sense. Now everything fits so beautiful. It's not that it's emes. Yavan says the highest thing in the tree, in the Gan, in the universe is beauty. What's cool about Chachma is that it's beautiful. What's cool about emes is that emes fits. It's beautiful. And Klal Yisrael says, you know what's cool about beauty? Beauty means that things are starting to become echad. You're getting closer to the emes. As it becomes more and more emes, it gets more and more neat and more echad and more, all beauty is oneness. Where things start to fit and everything connects, and that means everything getting closer to emes. So beauty is on the way to emes. And Yavan says, no, emes is on the way to beauty, and that's the war. The war is, what is the shleimus of the world, Yoifi or Yavan, or Chachma. And they want to turn the Beis HaMikdash into a building of Zeus, of Yoifi, and we want to recover it and make it into a place of emes. And that's the war. And that's why Yavan has some holiness. There's holiness to Yavan. Yavan is kedusha because it is defeating Achila. Yavan and Klal Yisrael both defeated Achila. They worked together to overcome Cham, to save Noach. So this is most of our lives. We're not grubba cop-outs, but we're also not hitting it out of the park and fully involved. We're struggling in the world of Yavan. we see ruchniistic, a beautiful experiences in a kumsitz, when really a kumsitz should be ekalik to us. We should only want to hear chaburas. You know, a kumsitz is very holy if you're stuck in achila. It's a chizuk. It helps you get out of the marash chayra. But if you're trying to sell that the kumsitz is real Torah, this is real, that's Yavan's Torah. That the real dveikus is yofi. The real dveikus is tavel einayim. And music is no different. I don't think you could argue that music is different than einayim. Sound and sight, it's all yofi. It's beauty, emotional beauty, intellectual.
Because the chachma is rooted in music.
What?
Nachman says that chachma is rooted in music.
Chachma.
Every chachma is rooted in a song. Because it's really the idea is within it.
I don't know if it's rooted. If rooted means that that's where it starts, and then it grows into a whole tree, then I have no problem that chachma is rooted in music. Then music is the thing that gets you out of achila into the chachma. You need to start with music, then I'll agree. But if you take the word rooted to mean that that's what makes chachma valuable, is only when you make it, when you finally write the song about your Torah, and now your Torah is sholim, that's backwards. That's Yavam. And it's a very dangerous place. This is it's a high level share within this. Now we're doing this in Lakewood. We can talk high level. We would normally be very happy with anyone stopping the share, but this thing I'm adding now is only a few people who could understand. This stochastic thing. Then
Could you explain the Mamal's answer then?
Explain his answer.
Yeah, I don't understand that answer.
He's just explaining that the pursuit that
They pursued what?
makes why is and well, you ever do you went to real English? You had real English. You had geometry. You ever learned geometry?
No, the cheder.
You said this like the answer is no.
Have you experienced with any science, any chachma? You've learned any chachma besides Torah on a serious level? What? What's beautiful about chachma is that people go like just the way I said it. What's beautiful about chachma? Look what I just said. Why am I measuring chachma about what's beautiful about it? And I just said it in the middle of my shir. I'm saying it's a bad thing. That's Hashem said this like Freudian slip. You're asking me to explain to Maharal how chachma could be about beauty, and I said what's beautiful about chachma. It's crazy. It's not what's beautiful about chachma. Why are we measuring chachma by how beautiful it is? Why can't I measure chachma by how true it is? Why is truth
I don't
valuable?
look at Chachma as beauty. Like the reason why you enjoy it is because it's true, no?
No.
Like, you don't
There's a
enjoy it when
lotion
it's
that
not true.
there's a lotion that they say.
When it doesn't
What?
fit,
It's a Jewish guy.
No.
when it doesn't fit, it doesn't feel good, right?
Because what?
Because it's not true.
It's not true. Not because it's not beautiful. Which one? It's different.
And I feel like the same thing.
It's not. Oh, it's not. So that
But you hear me, Chiluk?
to a lot of people, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. I want you to get to the next level. It's not the same thing. There's something called the value of emes. And there's something, you know why he's saying the same thing? Because you're a Ben Torah. And to you, it is the same thing. We got to the point that we know that beauty means that you're getting, that's emes. It's not that it's beautiful, it's that it's emes. But emes is beautiful. We know that. Yavan doesn't know that. Yavan likes emes because, wow, it's so beautiful. It's one type of beauty.
We also do though.
No,
You
this
like
is
emes
other.
because it's beautiful, no?
What? No, we don't like emes because it's beautiful. We like beauty because it's endless. Close in emes. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't understand.
You still not hear, anyone have a good way to say it? Anyone owning it well enough?
If you have a puzzle, you have two pieces, and they don't fit, but then you crack a piece up, now they fit. Right?
Right.
So that is less beautiful than something that preempted, that automatically fits without you having to do anything in order for it to fit.
You know, people say this lashon. People say this lashon in Torah. You say a beautiful word. They go kafta referach. You know. So I think kafta referach might be both of these things. Kafta referach is the kafta is that ties everything together, and the ferach is what's beautiful. It's beautiful and true. But to say, wow, it's such beautiful Torah. Someone tells you say Torah, they say it's so beautiful. You say, thank you, Plato. thank you, Antiochus. it's an Antiochus thing to say. The reason why it's good is because it's beautiful. Are you crazy? It's MS. I'll tell you an amazing line I heard from Yaakov Weinberg. It's not the same Yisai, but it's the same kind of Yisai. Rav Yaakov says that by Goyim, even when they're saying something richtig and they chap an emes, they still ruin it. They never, this is an example of that. They want not achila, usually bigger, and they call it beautiful. It's not beautiful, it's emes. He says like this, he says as an expression, the pen is mightier than the sword. You heard that expression? You ever heard the expression?
Yeah.
What does that mean? The pen is, so what's his kasha on that? What's wrong? What does he say, Yaakov says, a genius thing he says? What's wrong with saying the pen is mightier than the sword? You know what he's saying? He's saying that the pen, the whole point why a pen is better than the sword is because fighting is a low way. The pen, communicating things with ideas, is so much more powerful. So you're trying to say the point that words are more powerful than a cherev. The Kol Yaakov is better than the Yidei Esav. That's what you're trying to say. And what do you say? You say the pen is mightier than the sword. You're using might. Say the pen is better than the sword. Why are you using the word mighty in the same sentence that you're trying to say that koil is better? Meaning that is that an amazing line he says? It's an unbelievable insight. So when you're trying to make the point that dibur is higher than that koil is better than cherev, and you say that koil is stronger than cherev. It's really crazy. Koil is better than cherev. You understand? That's a Yaakov. The same point here is
Beautiful one.
what? Beautiful. Okay, but let me do the real short. I'm gonna do it very short because I don't want to.
Are we doing marriage?
What?
Are we doing marriage?
Maybe we'll see.
Hold on, the real shear
The
on
real
this or
they say Hanukkah, real Hanukkah share.
continue same thing?
Different thing. We just change it, but leave it on the same thing. This is the pleasure. This is the real. This is the important Torah you need to hear. That's the Reichmus. Some of you heard already. You should have heard already. I don't know, but you like the Chatzah of Hanukkah. You have what to think about. This middle ground. It deserves much more time, but I really want to do it in the Hanukkah share. Hanukkah is all about Pirsumei Nisa. The whole point, all the candles, everything. It's not about menorahs. It's about being mefarsim the nes. So in order to understand Hanukkah, you really have to wrap your head around what is the story of Nissim. The way I normally understood it always was that Nissim are b'diavad. You're really supposed to do things on your own. Right? Hashem created the world with din. He didn't make us born into Olam Haba. He made us born into a world with the Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara, and you have to struggle. And then we call it Nama de Kisufa, that if you were to be given all the reward without earning it, you'd be ashamed. You want to feel the thrill of deserving something. So if you want to feel, so then you have to have a challenge. And then when you work hard, you deserve it. So the way we normally think about it is the way that a person is sholem is when he earns the things in his life. So what are Nissim? Nisa, okay, I use a better mashal, not a better mashal, but it's more useful for my share. The same thing, a shortcut's a good line. I call it a safety net, right? Meaning the goal is that you're supposed to want to walk on a tightrope and do your flips and be the hero. Everyone will buy tickets and you're the big name, Ringling Brothers Circus, and you're the guy who walks, 500 feet in the air on this little string and you're doing somersaults and everyone gasps.
It's not the same when that's under you.
What?
It's not the same when that's under you.
It's not?
It's not the same.
When there's a safety net?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see why. We'll talk about why. But you understand that the goal isn't to fall into the safety net. The goal is to walk on the tightrope. You need a safety net to catch you. So that's how I thought of Nissim all my life. That really was supposed to earn everything. Mashiach's supposed to come because we're tzaddikim. We're supposed to.
Means if you
What?
You die and
Now what?
The nace is the safety net.
And the nace is Hashem chishav esaketz. In Mitzrayim, we didn't deserve to leave. He did a chesed and he brought us out, even though we should have done it on our own. We should have been deserving. Hashem, a nace is where Hashem changes teva. The real goal is I'm supposed to nail it in teva. I'm supposed to succeed at teva. I'm supposed to master my abilities. Is that how you think about Nissim also? Is that a way people think about Nissim? Nissim are Hashem intervening and saving you. But I said that's not l'chachila. Like even when I'm doing a puzzle or I'm driving somewhere, I'm not asking directions. I want to figure it out myself. Don't give me a hint. I'm gonna do it without a hint, right? And then when you give me a hint or you show me how to go, it's the same thing as Nissim. You're getting me there, you're carrying me. I don't want to be carried, I wanted to earn on my own. That's the problem with Nissim. And so most people would agree that Nissim are b'diavad. L'chadchila, you should do it on your own. The problem with that is that if Nissim are b'diavad, which is a perfectly fine hashkafa. I went my whole life with this hashkafa. And I don't think you're supposed to aspire for Nissim, right? Have we ever learned that in yeshiva? You're supposed to aspire for Nissim? You're supposed to try and work your hardest. You do a shtadlus. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will do it, but you're going to try yourself, right? Nissim are a backup plan, a social. We call it in SNAP and food stamps are called social safety nets. They use the marshal safety net actually. The problem with this is, it seems like in Yiddishkeit we talk about Nissim far more than safety nets. It's like everything Nissim. If all they were a backup plan, b'diavad, then it doesn't match with how much we talk about Nissim. Also, you'd expect the holiday of Nissim would be at the end of the year. When all else fails, bring in but we don't wait till like the end of the year. Chodesh Nisan, the first month is called miracles. We start with Kriyas Yamsov and Makkos. We didn't even try it. So how could it be a safety net if it's like the first step? That's my kasha. That's what this year is coming to answer. Is all logic, all of our chinuch would lead us to say that the best mashal for Nissim is a safety net. That Hashem will catch us and He'll save us, even though when we try and do it ourselves, don't worry, He's going to catch you. If you cry out to Hashem, He'll save you. But it seems like if that's all it is, we talk way too much about Nissim. Right? When you make the ad for the Ringling Brothers Circus, they don't have on the ad a huge picture of the safety net. Right? They have the picture. But all we talk about, Pirsumei Nisa, all the ads are safety nets. All the ads are Nissim. Why don't we be mefarsim the talent of Klal Yisrael, our Chochmah, our Gvura, our Pikchas, our Yoifi, all our midas, right? That's the kasha. So I think this is like so real and it's extremely important to understand this. So, why is it that people fail and need Nissim? Why? Let's go with the idea it's a safety net. Why do we need safety nets? Why do we need Nissim? Why aren't we all matzliach al pi teva? Why isn't everyone a multi-millionaire? The world is designed for success. Why aren't we all billionaires? What would you say?
It wouldn't be successful, it's just handed out.
You're getting all magical. Why aren't you a billionaire?
Yeah, if everyone has it, that's success.
What?
If everyone has it, it's not considered success.
Why not?
Well, first, why doesn't everybody have it? We'll worry about if it'll be called success when you have it. Why don't you have it?
You gotta work for it.
And why aren't you working for it?
Now
So some people are.
Why aren't we working for it? That's a bold assumption.
I'm making a word. I'm making a chiddush. I'm making a chiddush over here. I'm making a chiddush that the world is designed for success, and that any single thing that you try to do, you will discover you succeed. If you're not succeeding, this is not really trying. I see someone who's not doing well. I talk to them long enough to hear where they're faking, where they're going through the motions, which they're knocking on certain doors and avoiding other doors.
This is a continuation.
Yeah, last
week's share
of
of being single because it's all your fault.
Right.
Everything's all our fault. The biggest day in life is the day that you recognize it's all your fault. And stop kvetching and you suck it up and man up. But that's a different shit.
That's the day you get married.
What?
That's the day you get married.
Everything goes right. They become a billionaire, get married.
Then she takes half, and then
What?
Then she takes half.
That's the day you can give away your dimples. You won't need them anymore. You stand up, you don't need, dimples are the way to get by when you're not all in. It's a safety net.
Of sorts.
You could have them. It doesn't mean you have to use them. You could save them for emergencies. You know, when you get pulled over for speeding under the influence without a license and it's a lady cop. Then you pull out the dimples. Okay? emergencies, safety net. But you don't need the dimples for everything else. Like everything else in life, you will sell it. I'll give you the biggest proof. How many times this week did you call me to call that guy? Why?
Because I took care of myself.
That's really why?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's the wrong answer. That's the right answer. It's a good answer. but that was this week. It wasn't the previous 4 weeks.
Yeah, I needed you to come in with an axe.
You should have called me because I'm a disaster. And I'm old and I don't remember things. And you know when I'm here, I call him right away.
I wanted to know if it was a chasar in me or if he'd pick up for you too. He didn't.
Okay.
So no chasar in both. It's either
No,
a chasar in both of us or he's retarded.
But I'm saying, we can hear where I was trying to go with this.
Turns out the joke's on you because I got through it.
Baruch Hashem, you gotta know something. I no joke. I'm very happy. It's a raya. So you made the
He
call.
wants you back, by the way.
You made the call.
He wants you back.
Wants me back?
Yeah.
To do what?
Another round.
Of what?
He likes you.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
I think he
I
had a
don't waste time
sale.
for
He had a sale he was trying to make, and I knew the guy, and he asked me to make the sale. But he didn't call me
No,
the whole week.
the guy basically started ghosting everyone involved. So I was like, I wanted to ensure it because he knows he has our contact saved. He likes the rabbi. So
I was giving an example of something that he knew, that he
Ignore the
wanted.
rabbi
I have
too.
the contact. How come you're not calling me constantly to take the calls? My point is like this. Here's the simple answer. The reason why we are not hitting it out of the park are two very similar reasons. Go back to my mashal. Why are we not all the greatest tightrope walkers in the world? Why can't we do flips on the tightrope and have the whole world ooh and ah at us? Anybody can walk a straight line, right? You get pulled over, even if you're drunk, you probably can walk a straight line. Maybe it's too soon to make drunk driving lines. No, it's it could get whatever. It's too soon.
I think you for sure have a whole rant.
That wasn't why I was doing
That's why
this.
it's
It was
There's
in
two
my mind.
reasons.
There's two reasons. Reason number one is that we're afraid to get chevra. Reason number one is that we're afraid to step on the tightrope because we're going to break our neck. So we avoid every single thing risky and dangerous. Everything that can end in rejection, anything with a likelihood is rejection or failure, I don't avoid it. Most people are not succeeding at tightropes because we haven't even tried. Because it's too crazy to try. Okay? And the other reason that people fail is similar. We try to do things, but because we're scared, we're stuttering, we're shaking and trembling, and therefore we don't make the sale because we sound like weirdos. Or we fall off a tightrope because we're shaking. You can't shake on a tightrope. So either you're scared and you don't try, or you try but you do it with hesitancy and nothing works when you got to be all in. You will make the sale when you are making the sale. When it's a fraction of you, you're not going to make the sale. So they're very similar. We don't succeed. The world is designed for success. If someone is not succeeding, question one: are you trying? Yeah, I'm trying. Okay. Question two: let me hear your sales pitch. How many ums are there? How many stutters are there? How much did you hold back? How come you weren't selling? You were selling it like you were scared. So therefore, you know how you get someone to walk on the tightrope? What do? You put the safety under it. Our kasha is the purpose of life is to do tightropes. But if the person likes to do tightropes, the safety is catchy. Why do we talk about safety nets even before the tightrope? Why is the whole calendar about Nissim? And the answer is no. The first thing you have to know is there's a safety net. And when you know there's a safety net, then you know what happens? Now you can go on a tightrope. It's fearless. The purpose of Nissim is not to catch you when you fall. What is the purpose of Nissim?
Motivate you up there.
Is to live with fire. So you can dance. It's a total paradise to what Nissim are. So hold on. So therefore Chazal added a Yom Tov called Purim. Purim is the holiday of this Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot, are all the holidays of how amazing life is. We have Torah, we have freedom, Hashem is involved, everything's great. But for some reason, people are not dancing on their tightropes, even though they can do whatever they want, even all the right things. And the answer is they're scared. So Chazal added the Yom Tov of Purim. What is Purim? the safety net. They added a safety net. And once it's Purim, now everybody, Hashem will catch you when you fall. The knife could be on your neck. Hashem could save you. When you assimilate that in your mind, that I should catch me when I fall, then you can jump in and make the sale. Nothing's bad's going to happen. So why did they have to add Hanukkah? Why wasn't that enough to get people to live with fire? They had to add one more Yom Tov. Can you figure out what's the crack that all the water, the fire is dripping out of the crack? If you,
Hanukkah's Pirsumei Nisa.
but they're both from Purim also.
Purim also.
But if the whole point is that everyone's scared, so they added a Yom Tov that Hashem's a safety net, and now we know safety net. So why wouldn't you dance on a tightrope if you know Hashem's going to save you when you fall? Can you figure out why? Does that inspire you? No, it still doesn't work for us. Go in your own mind. Answer me from your own mind. Be honest with yourself. You know that Hashem will save you when you fall. You know there's a safety net. So why aren't we all living with fire? Why aren't we all in? Why are we still hesitant? What are we missing? Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the last message. What is that message? What's the message? What more do you need to hear? In order to live with fire, you know that the Torah is true, it's beautiful. You know that nothing limits you. You're free. You're not a slave. You know that Hashem is your co-pilot. Hashem is your co-pilot. That's Sukkot. Hashem, you're free as Pesach. It's all true. It's real. It's built into the world. It's designed. It's Torah. Everything. Still not enough. Oh, I might break my neck. Okay, so there's a safety net. Still not. What's the last thing?
Get up from the city.
I don't know if I could have given this year 20 years ago. It's so today. Somebody it had to be 20 years ago because Chazal added Hanukkah more than 20 years ago. You know what the last step is? Fine, Hashem, it's a safety net. Amazing. You're going to catch me when I fall. But tell me exactly how much money do you make working on tightropes? Oh, like $300,000 a year? Amazing. So if I have 5 kids, how am I pay the tuition? And I still can't go to KMR for Pesach. And I won't be able to go Sukkot to Eretz Yisrael. Definitely won't be able to fly business class. What is $300,000 going to do me? Yes, you'll catch me when I fall. But how much could I make already? It's not enough to know Hashem's going to catch you when I fall. When I do the math of what I can benefit from living, it doesn't reach my fantasies. So Hashem, Chazal added a second Yom Tov. You know what the second Yom Tov is? There's 2 Yom Tovs of Pirsumei Nisa, Purim and Hanukkah. Purim is we let the whole world know there's a safety net. Intriguing, means guaranteed. I can't break my neck. They'll catch me. Good. And then Hanukkah says, what does Hanukkah say? It's so amazing. Hanukkah says, and you know what? Not only is it a safety net, it's also a trampoline. You work a little bit, and you have no idea what the rewards will be.
Why is it Hanukkah?
Hanukkah is that a few defeat the many. One little bit of oil can last 8 days. There's a defensive Nissim and offensive Nissim. The defensive Nissim catch you when you fall. The offensive Nissim says, and whatever you do, I will multiply it 1,000 times. You get a job that pays $30 an hour, within a year you will own the company. You're going to be the best guy. They're going to open a branch. The guy's going to die. You're going to be put in charge. The family won't do without you. They're going to make you a shutuf. You don't know what the rewards will be. The reason why people are not living with fire is after Purim is no longer that we're scared. We are scared, but you can get into the Purim thing. It's that it's not big enough. I need to know that Hashem will make a little bit of oil last 8 days. That the results are exponential. And that's Pirsumei Nisa. The purpose of Hanukkah is to sit by your windows and light the candles. Because Hashem needs the entire world to live with fire. He designed this amazing gan, and He wants everyone to be all in. And everyone is hiding on the side. They're afraid to jump into the world. And Hashem says, fine, I'll catch you when you fall. And they're still not going. And He goes, oh, you want to hear billions? Like, there are people, me included, who don't buy Powerball until it goes over $1 billion. What am I going to do with 900 million? 100 million, you know? When it goes over $1 billion, then I'll buy it. So that guy needs to hear, that kind of job, he needs the Chanukah. He needs to know that you do a little bit Hashem will, you don't know the math. There's two types of Nissim. Purim and Chanukah, defensive Nissim and offensive Nissim. Safety nets and trampolines. The trampoline is the game-changing nace. And that's the kavanah. When you light the candles, you're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu you're tapping into the idea that Hashem will multiply your efforts. And if you really did it with kavanah, you sat by your neiris, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to walk away from your neiris. Let me at it. If you really believe that your little bit of effort will give crazy payers that you can't even predict where it will take you, then you didn't do Chanukah. The avoid of Chanukah, how a few people can defeat the entire Greek army. How one little bit of oil can last as long as you need it to last. This is the aside. But you have to make it real. It's not a little historical thing. The world needs to be a farce nace. Primarily yourself. You need to be a farce nace to yourself. You have to sit and walk away from the Chanukah neiros and feel your own fire. The Chanukah neiros are meant to light your fire. That's what they're here to do. And this is the Iker Nes. It's this, the trampoline. You hear it? But you have to imagine. You have to imagine where this could take you. If you know the joke, there's an amazing joke. I said the line about the lottery. This Mashulach comes to America and he's collecting money and someone tells him that they have America. They have it's not like Eretz Yisrael, these little lottos. We have it's $1 billion. He goes, really? Well, not always. Sometimes. He goes, right now it's 600 million. For Mashulach, it's pretty. So he goes, he buys himself a ticket, and he wins the lot. He wins one winner, Mega Millions, $600 million. So this Mashulach is sitting there. The guy says to Mashulach, so what are you going to do with the money? He says, I'm going to pay off all my chayvus. And the guy goes, oh, what about the extra? They'll have to wait. They'll have to wait. This is it. This is true for Shidduchim. It's true for Parnasa. It's true for Torah. Maybe you tried learning once and it didn't work and you didn't chaf, and there's always the other guys machabim to Reb Baruch Ber and he's talking with the Rebbe and you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can sit down, you can give another shot, he can make you into a Kiveger. There's no limit to what you could be. That's Nes Chanukah. You take the oil and you do it with Tara, pure oil. You don't know how long it can last. You just have to make sure you're working with pure oil. You know what? Hashem can do Nissim even if it's not pure oil. Tumba Hutra B'tzibur. You don't need. It's you can do amazing things. It's meant to be. I wish I was a better rah-rah guy, but this is a very real share. It could be a life-changing share. If you could figure out and exercise how to make this your thing, Hashem will catch me when I fall, Purim, and then Hashem will multiply my success. When you go to a job interview, you should never listen to what he's paying and make the cheshboinus. Don't make cheshboinus. Cheshboinus are jails. Cheshboinus are for goyim. We don't have math. Jewish math is you have no idea what Hashem can deliver. That's what Hanukkah says. You have 8 days to get that thought into your mind. And if you do it, you know how you know you succeeded at Hanukkah? If after Hanukkah you start to do crazy things. And then you test Hashem. You can test Hashem. You test Hashem with this. Hanukkah, you test him with Hanukkah. Go ahead and say, I'm doing this Hashem. Let me see crazy returns. Okay? Don't invest in CDs. A CD is the opposite of Hanukkah. You know? But don't invest in Bitcoin either. It's a cop-out.
Why click on a cop-out?
It's a cop-out.
Just lottery tickets?
No, it's not. By the way, this is important to know. Because see, I'm talking philosophy. Once you talk psychology, then this is a good kasha. So why shouldn't I buy Bitcoin? Why should I buy the riskiest companies? No, it's not pshat that a little bit. Let me just say this last nakuda. It's not pshat that a little bit will turn into a lot. That's not the yisoid. They had to find a little shem in Torah. What does that mean? Your best, no matter how small, will be multiplied. But it has to be your best. You can't say, I'll give a little bit, Hashem will multiply it. No, you have to search and find everything you got. This is the most important thing. You find your koyach, and your koyach will return crazy returns. Doesn't work with compounds. Be all in, you have no idea what the return is. That's the issue. All right?
Wow. Yeah.
I like that.